Hello students, welcome to the E version of Mr. Perez. First off, you should have a handout that looks something like what's on the screen right now. If not, then what you need to do is pause the video, go to my Moodle page under the poetry heading and print out the Scansion handout because you will be working on it and have to fill some stuff out for me to check tomorrow. Also, let me just apologize in advance for any distractions that may occur in the background. This laptop has a little fan that squeaks, and that's kind of annoying. And occasionally my child may come from the background and distract us. So let's get after it. Scansion, then, are simply the rules of poetic structure, which involves both rhythm and meter. Let's look at the structure of this poem here. Woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So, we want to look at the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables in the poem. And in doing so, we're going to determine then the meter. And eventually we're going to determine how many feet are in that line, and we'll cover that concept in just a minute. Here it is with the markings above each syllable, and notice I say each syllable, not each word. Now this particular passage, most of the words are one syllable, which makes this just a bit easier. So as we're scanning a poem, what we do is we mark a lowercase u symbol for the unstressed syllables. And the stressed syllables, we use the slash mark that you see here. So in reading this and emphasizing the meter, you'll hear, so when we read it with that overemphasis, it sounds like, whose woods these are, I think, I know, his house is in the village, though. Of course, that sounds goofy, and we don't read like that, but the rhythm and the meter is, in fact, there if you see it. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So you should be able to hear, then, how the pattern of unstressed stress pushes the poem along and gives it a bit of a rhythmic feel, and this is still employed today in both poetry and in song lyrics. And at this point, I should probably go over some of the hints or the reasons behind how the pattern of stressed and unstressed works. If you notice, oftentimes the main words are the ones that have the stress on them. So if we were to read the first line, just the stresses, woods, are, think, know, that almost has meaning by itself without the unstressed portions of it. We stress the important things. This is just developed over the course of our language, over the course of time, and it makes for really easy recognition of meter in that regard. So continuing that thought forward, you'll notice that the roots of words are almost always the stressed portion, and then prefixes or suffixes are often the unstressed portion. We give stress to the most important part of the word. Look in the third line. Stop is the stressed portion of it, and ing is the unstressed portion. Makes sense, right? The most important part of the word is stop, not the ing. So those are two sort of practical hints in determining what is stressed and what is unstressed. The important words, the big nouns, are usually stressed. Oftentimes the verb is stressed, and then the main part of the word is stressed as opposed to the prefixes and the suffixes. Okay, so continuing on, each of these meters has a name. That's important for us to know here. Let's see if I can get to the next slide. Giving me trouble. All right, so those feet, so a foot is a unit of It's a unit of meter that consists of the stressed and unstressed syllables for a particular meter. And let me just apologize right now. I keep starting and stopping this thing every time either my daughter wants to interrupt or the PowerPoint is being weird with my my recording, or like I keep having to do when the little fan on my computer starts squeaking and making noise. Brand new laptop. Love this thing. So these next two meters are the ones that have 2 syllables per foot. And you see them listed up there. And this is where you can fill in on your handout. Iambic is the adjective form, and that's usually the way you're going to use it. Iamb is the noun form. So IAMB is a foot of poetry that consists of 2 syllables. Unstressed is the first syllable, and then stressed is the second syllable. So we call that either I am when we want to use it in the noun form, or iambic, which is usually how you're going to use it or see it, is the adjective form of it. So unstressed, stressed, away, way is the stressed portion of it. If you look at the line that's in front of you, the falling out of faithful friends. Again, look, ing, the ending of the word falling is unstressed. Articles are often unstressed, like the, because it's just not that important compared to fall out faithful friends. So that's unstressed, stressed, that's iambic. The opposite of that is trochaic, which starts with stressed and then unstressed. So you can fill both of those in at the top of your page. Iambic, unstressed, stressed, trochaic, stressed, unstressed. So the first part of the word coming, right? Come is stressed and ing is unstressed. The example here, double, double, toil, and trouble, is trochaic and the opposite of iambic. Next year you'll read the play Macbeth, in which Shakespeare uses the trochaic to stand apart from the rest of the characters, most of whom speak in iambic. So we're going to do a little bit of practice here and see if you can recognize then what each of these what each of these look like. I'm going to the next set of slides here. Here's a number of different examples, which are on your page. So what I would ask you to do right now is take the next couple of minutes and mark each of these. Mark each syllable, either stressed with a slash mark or unstressed with a U, and then behind it, write which corresponding meter that is. So I'll show you the first 2 examples here. We have Sunday and birthday. We have to determine which syllable is stressed, which syllable is unstressed. There's my daughter in the background, if you heard that. So let's look at them. Both of those are stressed, unstressed. So Sunday and birthday. The first part of the word is stressed, and the second part is unstressed. So that would make it trochaic. Right? So do that for each of the next 12 examples. Take just 2 or 3 minutes to do that. I'll play some music for you, and we'll review it in just a minute or 2. If you're still working, hit pause and then hit play when you are done. Let's look at these different meters. And let me just start off by saying that I acknowledge that at some that we might have disagreements at times as to which syllable is stressed and unstressed, and that might be determined by where we live in the country or how we pronounce the particular words. However, most of them are standardized in some format. We can understand each other when we talk. And if you ever are in doubt of what is stressed and unstressed, there's a simple way of looking up what the standard is, and that's by opening up a dictionary. Here it is. Birthday, for example. The stress is on birth right there. It says it right here in bold. Birthday, right? Here, the dictionary tells you what syllable is stressed and which one is unstressed. So if we ever have any disagreements, this is the standard by which the entire country should theoretically go. This is the standard that we use. Sunday and are trochaic. First syllable is the stressed syllable. So let's go over the rest of these words. We have correct, that's stressed on the back half. Simple is stressed on the front, so correct is iambic and simple is trochaic. Believe and because, iambic, because the second syllable is stressed. That hard C at the back half of because is sort of a giveaway there, that it's hard not to stress that hard C, because. Dispute, stress, and sister, they're opposite. Dispute is iambic and sister is trochaic. Convey, you might say convey, but you wouldn't be correct. Convey is iambic. Laughter is trochaic. Gather is trochaic. Music is trochaic. Relief is iambic, and attack is iambic. So now you should practice real quick and create 2 examples of an iamb and 2 examples of a trochee. So there's a portion there. So write iamb or iambic right next to that open bubble, and write trochaic next to the second one, and then give me 2 examples of each. I'll give you just a minute to do this. As you can see, the video is about to end. If you need more time, by all means, take it to write your 2 examples of each. Record them on your handouts so that you can produce them in class tomorrow. If you have any questions, make sure that you ask me as soon as possible. Thanks.